In 11.1, we're starting the section on 3D figures. So this first topic is on nets and just introducing some of the vocabulary terms that we're going to be using when we're talking about our 3D shapes. So 3D solids, they have edges, vertices, faces, and bases. The first shape that we're going to look at is a prism. So a prism has two bases, which make up the actual shape. So this prism is made out of a square. So the square shape is the base. The rectangular shapes are the faces. So you can lay this shape out in a net. So what this would look like is our two bases, and the faces kind of wrap around the faces, or wrap around the bases. The edges are the lines, the segments around the outside of the shape. So for a prism, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 edges on the first base, 5, 6, 7, 8 edges on the second base, and then around the rectangle we would have 9, 10, 11, and the hidden one on the back side would be 12. So there's 12 edges. And then the vertices are the points that are connecting the edges. So on the front, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices. And on the back, 5, 6, 7, and the hidden one is 8 vertices. For the pyramid, we have one base, which is on the bottom of the shape, and we have the faces that make up each side. When you flatten this image out, we have the square base, and then each face would fold down into triangles. When we're counting the edges, again, we're just counting the segments that are visible on the outside of the shape. So the base would have 1, 2, 3, 4 edges, and then 5, 6, 7, and the hidden edge would be 8. The vertices, again, are on the base, 1, 2, 3, 4 for a pyramid, and then on the top we would have 5. Cylinder is made up of a circular shape. So it could either be a circle or an oval. So we have our top base and our bottom base, and we're connecting those two bases. So if this were laid flat, we would have the two circular bases and a rectangle wrapping around those two bases. Now, because this is a smooth figure, it's circular, there's no edges and there's no bases. I'm sorry, there's no vertices. So we have a base, and this rectangle shape is the face. The cone has a circular base. If you were to flatten this, just doesn't quite make a triangle. It is more like a pie or a pizza slice shape, but the base is a circle. So we have our base and we have our face. Again, since it's circular, there is no edges and there is no vertices. So with nets, you can find surface area. So in this example, I have a pyramid. It does have a square base. So, or a rectangular base, we would call it a rectangular or a square pyramid. If I were to lay this all out, I'd have a square or a rectangular base, depending on what the measurements are, and triangles on each side. So the measurements are 5. So if I just know that the number is 5, that means that the base is 5 by 5. The face is a triangle, so I can find the height of that triangle. Let's say that the height is 4. So in order to find surface area, you have to find the area of all 5 bases or faces. So we know this is, well, let's find the area of the square base. So the area of a square is length times width or base times height or side squared, doesn't matter. So we're looking at doing 5 times 5. So the area of the square base is 25. If we know the height of the triangular face is 4, we know that the area of a triangle is half base times height. So it would be half of 5 times 4. And that would give us 10. So we know each triangular face is 10. So to find the surface area, we add the base plus the faces. So we're adding 25 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. So we've got 40 and 65 all together. So the surface area of the shape is 65.